He calling him out of war. He calling you Lord.
Because I have.
Because in the king, they gonna be like, I don't want, no.
Like what position he needs to be playing. But because of his strength, when he broke down crying and was like, this shit was wrong that my people did this. Like he cried like he lost somebody. What in there love him, man?
Yeah, he good.
I don't think
I'm with this bro.
Yeah, I'm saying, because the more and more I hear, you know what I'm saying, like, you don't have to do so.
That word means active, so he can turn that shit on. That's why you gotta be able to have your senses exercised where you can discern who you dealing with.
Yeah. Book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white.
Not white, according to flesh, because the hair was white. He was like, so leprosy in the scriptures is a plague of the flesh. Being white is made clean, pure, righteous, aside from this society. So
that's the same thing that happened to Moses.
Well, not Moses,
but many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand.
It said none of the wicked will understand. It can't happen. Go ahead.
But the wise shall understand.
The wise shall understand. We know who the wise are. We know who the wicked are. Malachi 1 and 3. Right? Esau is wherever he's at is the border of wickedness. Right? If he move over there, set up an embassy over there, wicked. Right?
This is 1 Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and 14.
Pertaining to you and your friend that you discern is Edomite. Go ahead.
But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God.
Because the natural man, you will have to use your senses to make a decision. Look, see, touch, smell, hear, right? You have to be sensitive to make a decision. That's the natural man. Go ahead.
For they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them.
So spiritual things are foolishness into the natural man. Because we're dealing with a spirit. You can't use any of your senses to make a determination or judgment in the spirit. Motherfuckers come looking nice, and that's what the church is all about. They look nice, but inside they're
I got it. Because they are spiritually discerned.
You have to make a spiritual discernment, bro. Go ahead.
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things.
So you got to make a judgment based on his spirit and his spirit. Judge the spirit by the spirit. Right? Bring us out of Romans 8 and 16, so we know that none of the wicked understand. Right? You have to make a judgment. If you're a spiritual man, you judge all things. And you can be judged by the
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
So it's a judgment call. You can judge if someone is righteous or off in the spirit, even in yourself. You might wake up and you're like, damn, I'm off in the spirit. I got demons on. And you'll go pray, you might drink water, whatever. So even with yourself, you got to put yourself into a mirror and you got to make judgments, right? From Romans 8, 16, you bring this out.
This Romans chapter 8, verse 16.
Concerning the spirit.
The spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh.
So this spirit, how do we know that we're the children of God? Because these words are spirit, right? Because some people say they spiritual. What is the spirit? Get John 6, 63, right? Because the word was made flesh, but he said he wouldn't leave us comfortless, right? So these scriptures have prophecies that bear witness with our spirit. Being taken into slavery by ship, that's one of the main ones that most Israelites look to see, okay, that's us. You know, Jeremiah 17 and 4. Jeremiah 17 and 4 says, no, when he talks about our people, discontinued from our heritage. So once you read these scriptures and you look at the curses that we're under, because in Deuteronomy it says these curses will be on us for a sign and a symbol, right? Like breadcrumbs to get y'all back to where y'all are. What other people be taken to captivity by hope, right? What other people need salvation. So this spirit bears witness with our spirit. A Hamite could come and they could say, well, you know, I agree with this. And we might say, you know, you shouldn't have tribal markings. You shouldn't circumcise your women. You shouldn't eat that type of animal. Their spirit bears witness that they're not, like a lot of Jake, for example, we say you shouldn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. A lot of Jake naturally don't do that. A lot of Jake say you should grow a beard. A lot of Jake naturally do that. A lot of Jake, you got to tell them you shouldn't stick your dick in a child or an animal or another man. We just don't do it. When these other nations, you know what I mean? That's their customs. You know what I'm saying? That's their way of life. So us, our spirit, who we are, even destroyed, we have a semblance of righteousness, but not according to knowledge. We want to do right, but we haven't been taught right. But you can see, like, y'all are those people. You know what I mean?
It's 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. But the Lord Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart.
That's right. So men, like I said, us being in this flesh, in Jude 1 and 6, these flesh are what you call chains of darkness. Because the angels that were in heaven that fell to the earth, that's us. Because you have to understand, we were created. I can edify the scripture. Get Matthew 6 real quick. I lost my train of thought. 2, 1 and 6, and then get Matthew 6 real quick. Because even in the scriptures, it tells you how to pray. It's specifically how to pray. And like you're doing it right. Seems like you do it in a secret place. Like, hey, bro, I got to go take a shit. You know, that's right. That's First Kings 8:53. That's our homeland, right? But I'm sorry, Satan just stole my thought. Just get through the hood. It's a package. Jude 1 and 6, bring this out for the brother.
This is Jude 1 and 6.
We're going to get into the chains of darkness being this flesh. Go ahead.
And the angels which kept not their first estate.
Because our first estate was to be what? Rulers over this planet. We weren't created to be at the bottom working and like this nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? that's like I said, lamentation. You know what I mean? Our glory has been turned to shame. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Lord willing, he said his desire for Israel that they all can be saved. Like, shit, we don't know if we saved. Go ahead.
But left their own habitation. He have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness.
He said the angels that lost their first estate, right?
And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he have reserved in everlasting chains of darkness.
That's the flesh that you're in. These are the chains of darkness. You like when you wake up, you might not want to be lustful, but guess what? Your rod might be on rock. You might wake up with a lustful place. You might wake up with a headache. You might wake up with an ailment. You might wake up, go to sleep happy, and wake up upset. That's these chains of darkness. You know, us being in this flesh is corrupt. Go ahead,
He have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
Unto the judgment of the great day. Keep going.
Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
Right. Job 33:15. So these are the chains of darkness known as your flesh, right? Because we weren't set up to do anything but be the heirs of this planet, right? In the Garden of Eden, that land east of Eden, being the fertile crescent of Mesopotamia, that's where our land is found, Jerusalem, right? When we were planted in that land, guess what? All these other nations were created to be subject and submissive to us. We were gods on the planet, right? We were his representative on the planet. But because we went on following the ways of the heathen, guess what? We've been dropped and we've been reduced, right? We're supposed to have all type of spiritual abilities, telepathy. We're supposed to read minds. We're supposed to be able to do a lot of things with these chains of darkness. You know, you wake up in the morning, you know that you're a God. You know that you're Yasha Allah. but you got a sore back. You would have laid in bed another 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But you're the son of God.
So what's the name, like, y'all camp? What's the name of y'all camp?
We don't really have an established camp name. We out here to raise this banner of truth.
Nah, that's the reason I ask is I know it speaks about he's going to bring all the Israelites back together.
Get 1 Corinthians 1. All together.
I don't know. Spiritually.
He's like, we are going to be on the block 144,000. Like Nate down in Memphis. Remember Nate? Nate went down to Memphis, and I'm talking about
let me get this straight on. This Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as, hold on, I started at 5. Who are the no, I gotta start at 6. Who are the Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises? Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahweh Shah came, who is over all. Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
So even though we all might be Israelites, we have a 2/3 club. Right? Get Zechariah 13 and for the
Psalm chapter 147, verse 19.
Because the Romans said, read Romans 9:4, better quick for the brothers and sisters on speed. Because when it comes down to the administration of this book, like coming out and professing it, it's only given to one people to do that. Right? Bring it up one time.
This Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory,
which is the kingdom of heaven,
and the covenants,
and the covenant,
and the giving of the law,
that's what we're doing out right now, giving the law,
and the service of Yahweh.
the service, right? That's what a minister is, a servant. The greatest among you, let him be the servant. He need to be the leader who knows to the fucking ground, right? To be a servant and a minister is synonymous, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. And the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
And the promises, what are the promises? Right? All of the goodly things he's only giving to the Israelites. And this is Paul, who was a Benjamite, right? Paul would be from the West Indians, a modern day Jamaican, according to nationality. So when he was going to the Church of Corinth, or what is this?
Church, I think he's still in church. He was speaking to the Romans.
Okay. So when he was going to the Israelites that were scattered in Rome, you have to understand, he understood that he was talking to the Israelites that were in Rome. Just like in America, look how we make America great. We in the arenas, right? Even when you deal with some professions like doctors and stuff, they really won't put us out there as being the most innovative people in these different industries, but we've always been great in our different captivities. Go ahead, huh?
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahweh Shah came.
Concerning the flesh, because if you don't believe that he came down in the flesh, you can't believe on it. Because a lot of people, they say, well, he don't matter, he don't have a color. If he came in the flesh, he had a fucking color. And if you can't get down with that, it's because white supremacy, right? You could bring out what you got in Psalm 147.
This is Psalm chapter 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto the Israelites.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
He said he had not dealt so with any nation. Get Isaiah 40 and 15. Right? Because that's right. Because the laws are only given to us. Because you have to understand. Bring it out.
Psalm 50 and 16.
This is pertaining to any of these heathens that want to take this in, you know, in the form of being a Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witness, riding around on a bike with some magical underwear. That's what they have, bro. The Mormons. Actually, you got on your magical underwear, your magical drawers. They feel that keeps them away. Hey, they say that keeps them away from people like us.
Yeah, straight up. But we're crazy. But we're crazy. But you got magical underwear.
That's added to the word, so that's a flavor. Right, Psalm 50 and 16, go ahead.
This is Psalm 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do the declare my statutes.
To the wicked. What y'all got to do to declare these statutes? We read in Romans 9 who are the ones that are the servants, the ones that are the administrators of the law, right? So it said, to the wicked thou says, what hast thou do to declare my statutes? If there's a white guy saying, hey, we want to tell you about the goodness of Jesus and all this other stuff, Psalm 50 and 16, why y'all holding our document? It actually talks about you going into slavery and being annihilated off the face of the earth in that book. Right? But they don't want to give into that because they pushing what? Catholicism.
That's right.
Community organization. We know some
When I
separate.
told him that part, that's when he kind of broke my mind.
Yeah, Isaiah 1. Man, you're abusing this. Man, wait till the kingdom. You're abusing this practice.
I got some slave owners too, because all of Israel is not Israel too. You know, just to clear further, it's only going to be the elect, 144,000 and 1/3. You know, so this Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for? Because all Israel they seeking to be saved. We all want to be saved. We all want to be we want to have the truth.
They churching the truth.
Because Jake into everything.
Jake in Islam because guess what? He's righteous and he want that truth. Who he trying to take?
It says, what then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
See, the scriptures talk about the elect of Israel, right? And we're going to get on that elect. Zechariah 13 and 8, get Revelation 7 and 4 real quick. Because when we were talking about a 1/3, right, we're going to bring understanding the scriptures on the 1/3. I mean, when we talk about a 2/3, because in a part, there's 3 parts. 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. And that 1/3 being that great multitude, Revelation 7 and 9. Go ahead. Yeah, that's right. Mark of the beast, right? 66.6, right? That's who's going to be destroyed. So we could come out here and we can't be a community organization because we have understanding that 2/3 of our people are slated to be destroyed. They're not going to get it. Yahweh Shah said his desire is that they all could be saved. So we have understanding that 2/3 are going to be cut off and down. Lord, we not in that number, right? You can bring this out.
This is Zechariah 13 and 8.
It's the 2/3 we're talking about.
And it shall come to pass,
And it shall come to pass, I keep the promise.
that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
It's the 2/3. That's what we affectionately call them the truth. 2/3. Right? They acting like heathens. 2/3. Right? Go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein.
But that third part, that 1/3, is going to be left therein. Right? We're going to give you edification on that 1/3. And your friend, he might even be in that 1/3. You know what I mean? You get on Revelation 7 and 4 real quick. How y'all doing, bro?
Revelation chapter 7 verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So it said that in his vision he saw the number of them, and it was 144,000. 12 times 12, 12,000 men out of each one of these tribes already designated to be saved from the foundations of the earth, right? So it's saying, I saw numbers in that could not be numbered.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And they were sealed 144,000.
So you always hear about the 144,000. Go ahead. Those are these joint heirs in the kingdom. Not just regular Israelites who will be a part of their kingdom, so to speak, the administrators. Yeah, to be part of the government. Just not a regular citizen. Right? They'll be
True say. To be saved. Was to just go back to the land.
no, but who is salvation for?
Only for Israel.
Yeah, that's my because who the world enemy calls Jesus, contrary to what everyone knows in John 3:16, he didn't come to save the whole world. Right? When you go to SeaWorld, are you leaving the planet? When you playing in the World of Warcraft, are you leaving the planet? So we just have to get understanding, right? Because you got the New World Order, that's not the same as SeaWorld, right? So one world, like SeaWorld, that's a separate society, right? A group of people. Then you got the New World Order, that's a new age, right? And then you got the entire world, that's the word Orkomini in the Hebrew. So you got Cosmos, which means a separate society. You got Aeon, which means the age, like the white man's New World Order, right? It's not a new world coming in, but it's going to be a new rulership. And guess what? A part of that new world order agenda is the mark of the beast. This is a heavy end-time prophecy that all y'all going to have to deal with, right? Right now, 10 years ago, y'all didn't hear nothing about a chip in y'all card or nothing like that. It wasn't even in the vernacular of people. Now, if you go to the store, a lot of them, they don't even take cash. Card only. They're going to ask you, do you have a chip? So you can put that ass in first. You don't even swipe it no more. So now, if you go up in Mercedes-Benz with money, you can buy anything from the section. Things that you know. Yeah, Apple Pay. You look like you got Apple Pay. You use it. Yeah, it's out there for
You can buy the chip though. So yeah, that's very well good. Yeah, that's it. I didn't even know about that.
And like I said, all it will take is, like I said, this RFID chip is about the size of rice, right? In Europe it's called the NFC chip. In America it's called the RFID chip. So we already know that the dollar isn't worth any money. It's not even worth the money that is printed on. I think they say it's worth like a penny and it costs 2 cents to make the chip. But people have faith in it.
This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
All right, so it's going to come a time. You notice that this is a watermark, but we changed it to martial law because those are going to be re-education centers. About a year ago, you had a lot of these
The Latinos, kids, what did they had them? They had them in the Walmart stores.
Exactly. So they detaining centers because there's also an account of bombs going off near Walmart because their connections leaking Walmart to Walmart. See, we thinking Esau is going to do it like we did in times past, and put you on a train and take you from city to city. But now they have a lot of them underneath the Walmart, where you'll be transported from one state to the next state, going underground, right? But also, if just look at Katrina, right? When that calamity came, where did everyone go? They went to higher ground, right? And where did they stage everyone at? Where did they have to go to get support? So when you have all these stadiums being built, you got Turner Field, perfectly good, right? But then they built another stadium out in Cobb County, right? You got Mercedes-Benz and you got another stadium. Because in a metropolitan area such as this, you're gonna have a lot of niggas, right? If you wanna go to Walmart and get food, and it's a UN troop outside of Walmart, as you have here, because everyone gonna have rations, right? And if you can't get food, what are you gonna do? You're gonna look to the government for help. You're gonna look to the church. They're gonna say, go over to the dome. We got everything y'all need. And that's gonna be the beginning of this mark of the beast. Now, once you go in there, because you're gonna need support. Otherwise, you'll stay out here on the street, right? When you go in there, you're gonna want something. You're gonna want food. You're gonna want diapers for your babies. And guess what? You will be able to go right back into society and achieve a sense of normality after you receive this mark, right? But if you don't receive the mark, that's when you're gonna have to be like in the wilderness. Just like in ancient times, we were in Egypt, when we fled away from Pharaoh, and we had to just go out, and we had to trust in the Heavenly Father to feed us, to guide us through. That's exactly what you're gonna have to go through, right? Because once you accept this mark, you are telling the white man, you my God. He's gonna be able to track you. There's a shot of cyanide you put in that motherfucker, right? He can read your body statistics, you know what I mean? And he's gonna be able to play God. So that's what the white man wanna do. Right through Google Earth, you can tap into his satellites to look in your backyard, right? So you can just imagine the technology that he has. When he releases to us, he's 30 years in the future already. Make a hologram and you stealing some shit. Did arrest you.
But you know what's crazy? You got all that in here.
That's right.
I was at Kroger, man. I was buying some cashew. Next thing you know, Facebook, cashew.
That's right. That's right.
That's how they use it. You know, and
How was your?
They use it as a allegory. I do some IT sides of that, you know what I'm saying? So like they use that, you know what I'm saying, as to, you know, to track you, or algorithm. So it's like, so it helps them understand, because you're nothing to them but a consumer.
Exactly.
That's all you are.
Right.
So they want to build a robot you. Basically, that's what Esau really is doing.
Artificial intelligence.
Right. I was confused. I'm
Esau's a mad
how do
joker.
they know I bought? You
Yeah,
know, and they
because-
just pulled it right off.
Yeah, because just like in these communities, the Wi-Fi, right? That's microwave radiation, right? And that's another thing with 5G technology. You get these accounts of birds falling out of the sky because they getting hit with this radiation, they getting hit with the chemtrails and so on and so forth. But with the 5G, so you can have a better signal or be more spread, what they're trying to do is 5G technology. So in urban areas, every 500 feet, you'll have a cell tower, and it's sending down radioactive, concentrated radiation. So this is affecting our physiology in the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? And
Water, all that shit.
you go to Kroger, you never go down the ice cream aisle. So they know whenever he come here, they send you coupons for bread. Because that's the only aisle you go down. So they picking up and they learning the different patterns of people. We consumers. We don't manufacture, we don't create anything. You know what I mean? But
I was just gonna say, and another way you can really learn or understand or how this devil operates is he operates under this thing called order out of chaos, right? And it's order out of chaos. You know what I'm saying? So what he does is he creates the chaos and he brings the order out of it.
$1 million.
Exactly.
Problem, reaction, solution.
This,
He creates the problem just like 9/11 for life. He already knew what the end was. He wanted to pass laws and legislation to take away more of people's rights. But he had to get an act where he'll get the people's full support. Oh, it's terrorists knocking down buildings. All right, do whatever y'all need to do. So they passed our Homeland Security Act. So it's just like with voting. You just like in this, after Trump get out, it ain't no one qualified. And if they are qualified, they belong to some black boule fraternity, secret society that we're not a part of. I mean, so we don't have no options, and we don't have no saviors, no leaders. And if you try to rise up and be a leader, they're gonna cut you down. Unless the Most High be with you, like he said in Acts 5:38.
This Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, there is no secret that they can hide from thee.
So you have to understand, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And the white man, he has knowledge pertaining to this physical realm that we don't have. The scriptures say he's wiser than Daniel. You know what I mean? You have to understand, when we were in a deep slavery and it was illegal for us to read, the white man was, you know, doing his bidding and creating industries all around the world. You know what I mean? Dominating, right? And it says he's wiser than Daniel, meaning these knowledge of how technology works, he has that. And he can use that to his benefit. And he's gotten so pride into thinking that because he has this knowledge, he's God, right?
So
And-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Basically, like how they portray NASA and Gene Nelson and tell us that everything outside of that, right? You know, when God said that was the firmament, and that the firmament, everything is inside of
The
it.
Shemaiah, as we call it.
You know, so it's just like how the school, like I went to my kids actually.
Right. I mean, they still learn the curriculum, but I see what you're saying. You
Yeah.
can at least adverse
Yeah.
bullshit
Oh,
by
no,
having them
like
in the
when I
house.
say I pay for homeschool, like I got a homegirl who's teaching me.
No, but you got to teach them a curriculum mandated by the state, or they can come and take your baby, man.
I don't want to teach them that.
I understand. But you got to teach them that, and you got to teach them the truth. Like, for example, my daughter, she's homeschooled, and I got to teach her mandated, but I tell her the truth.
Yeah.
So you're going to pass the test, but that test don't mean shit. But I'm not going to get locked up.
So how y'all feel about like that?
I was just about to bring that out. I did a video this is a program that by October 2020, if you don't have, because they want to have 90% of the American population vaccinated by October 2020, right? It's called Healthy 2020, right? So if you don't have a vaccination, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your property, you're going to lose all your benefits. anything that you get, they're gonna take all that with you. You know what I'm saying? And through these vaccines, you know what I'm saying? Like, and of course it starts with your kids. So that's why you try to take your kids out of school. They still want to vaccinate. So by October 2020, if we don't get the fuck out of here, if what we're saying is not true.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, that's why like the reason my uncle was like, get the hell out of the cities now.
Well,
Because
I mean,
it's everything's gonna happen. Because he's like,
you gotta have
right
faith.
before May, it's gonna be they're gonna turn the power grid.
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with the vaccine first.
Did you see about the martial law drills they was doing in Los Angeles?
Yeah, they just did one. They before I stay in Alpharetta. They just did one day before yesterday.
Mansell?
Mansell.
Yeah, that's it.
I stayed on Mansell, bro. And I'm talking about from there we went to Cobb County on Cobb Park where they had the homeless trucks riding on the street.
Right.
And these were white on the trucks with UN.
Right.
So I ain't never seen them type of
And that goes back into martial law. The reason why these other countries, for example, they have a military parade where they parade these to the streets. Of course, America has intercontinental ballistic missiles, but they can't parade them because it'll fuck up the infrastructure of the road. So now you see them widen the roads. That's so military vehicles can patrol down these roads at a certain point, right? Even on the highway, they can widen it so it can be a landing strip. Because you have to understand, when shit go haywire, it's gonna be checkpoints around this motherfucker.
Hey, I got a precept. This Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 16, where there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
The course of their actions shall stand in their power. So sedition among men is gonna be uprising, it's gonna be violent. So you gotta guard it. And I'm gonna invade the guard so I won't die of starvation. Right? So it's gonna be, you can see certain scenarios that can bring that about, where men are invading each other's houses. This movie called The Purge that gives into these different scenarios.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Katrina, right? When they try to go to higher ground because the lower, or what they call it? You got uptown and downtown.
Parishes.
Yeah, that's right. So the ones that were below sea level, when the levees broke, they had to retreat to higher ground. And when they tried to go into these parishes with these white people, they had armed militias. They had guns telling them to turn their ass around. And they were killing a lot of them.
And they found a lot of dead bodies.
They found a lot of dead bodies.
With bullet holes.
So you got checkpoints, meaning, let's say it's a famine. Now people are going to try to harbor resources. You represent another mouthpiece, right? So what's going to happen? Oh, kids and women, they're going to be the first ones. Old people that need a shot for her sugar. Your grandmama, she need a shot for her sugar, she got to go. The older nigga that's on the ventilator at the hospital, he got to go. If you weak, you feed him. But the point I was making is going to be checkpoints. Meaning, all right, there's no resources here. Naturally, we're going to try to go elsewhere. Link up, and guess what? It's going to be some crackers. You know they like wearing camouflage. Laying down and waiting for you. Go ahead, Al.
It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
They ain't going to be afraid. Just talking about this, it should make you afraid. We're afraid, that's why we're coming out here. Because when you're dealing with a spit snatch, these are the Russians, you know, they not like these homosexuals in the U.S. military.
They say they got a cruel continence. Like, they don't give a damn. He said,
they trying to get negative 30.
Continence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, think about how this spring is coming out right now. The American troops go over there and they be raping local women. You feel me? All the countries. They do that shit. What you think they gonna do over there?
That's right. And our people, they go ahead, bro.
And you made a point though, but you know, most of these guys, even in the Bible, like when we go in, you know, in the bar, first thing we do, kill the men, we take the women and kids from small.
That's right.
A lot of these, they already open for the table.
Oh, they open
And
for
they
the
go back to
table.
their precept right out of 2 Ezra 5. You know,
Right.
they bound in the strong man first, so they can come into the house. And
Right,
that's what
right.
they did.
They are, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know, it always started when they created the whole system to take them in.
Welfare.
You know, we grew up very homeless, so like prison, like that.
Here, home, going home. Where you from, player? You doing all right? That's good. Goddamn, that's probably the wrong nigga. You go ahead with it.
It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Hey, the most godly, God-fearing person in this society. Don't steal, that's wrong. Let them go for 48 hours without eating. That bitch gonna be stealing. 3 days without eating, you gonna be trying to, like, the cartoons, when you had the two cartoon characters on a beach, and they get so starved and they get so delusional that he started looking at his partner like a turkey.
Like a trick. Y'all heard the story of the jungle park, right? Y'all heard the story of the jungle park? When they traveled out west, but it got cold, it got too cold or whatever, so they started eating each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it was on that. Didn't it happen in Florida?
No, it's
I know something happened in Florida where the cannibal was eating. And he was eating his roommate.
They went to Africa to try to convert General Bud Naked. The general that was in Africa that was cannibal, Yeah, but he said that, but that's back to IUIC, But sorry to get off point. It's going into invading of houses, you know what I mean, for the lack of bread. And that's one thing about our people, we like to eat. In this society, you could go and get a chicken sandwich for 99 fucking cents. Bitches will be so cheap, because our people think that just because you can go and you get a bag of rat snacks, right, that we in a good case when we're really not. You know what I'm saying? In the last days, say victuals shall be so cheap. America's how many trillions of dollars in debt? 22 trillion.
It's happening now in Venezuela, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Prostitution.
It's all now.
Bad, you could go to Venezuela with $5 and get you 10 bags. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's coming back to America, right? When these women cannot feed themselves, what are they gonna do? They're gonna be trying to use what they got to get. Same thing they auntie told their ass.
Oh yeah.
They gonna get a cut. See, the white man won his cut. See, he wasn't getting a cut off all them back page transactions. You know what I mean? She's selling pussy by the pound, and Esau not getting a cut. Because in Vegas, they can sell ass.
They shop it on Craigslist. Craigslist, you go to a section right there.
But what they gonna do when they turn the internet on? Like you said, you know what I'm saying? They gonna have a black girl. You know what I'm saying? They gonna, what you gonna do? What's wrong? It's a post road. Just like Stewart Avenue. Metropolitan used to be Stewart Avenue. And it was a major host road. It was like Freaknik and all of that. Any night you can ride by and this bitch is coming up to your car. Bad bitches. Going road, Food industrial. Why you calling it?
Hey, ain't even lie. When I was younger,
But that's one thing about women, they know how to survive. Like a woman can have a man, if a white man blow your head off, it's something in her physiology to understand the man that blew off her husband's head is now her man. Right. She gonna go into survival mode. She not even gonna mourn the nigga. Right. You probably been with her 20 years. She goes, where we going?
I'm gonna read now a little bit. With this Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from the far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Like you said about the Russians,
get on the fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
It's like they're slavery. Just because he was a little 4-year-old nigga, the master didn't say he little, let's let him stand aside. They had that little bitch out in the field. From can't see morning to can't see night. They didn't regard our grandmothers. Look at this old motherfucker. I mean, not this motherfucker, because this is but they didn't have no regard for the old and young. Bring that out one more time, huh?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
He said a nation of fierce countenance, but it's about to get certain attributes and characteristics of this nation. Go ahead, huh?
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Until thou be destroyed. The fruit of a woman's body, what's the fruit of a woman's body? A child. Right? in the land.
You saying the same thing? I said the same thing.
Go ahead,
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil.
That's right, because when we were in slavery, we picked all the choice crops, but we didn't eat this shit. This don't have to be food. That's right. That's right.
Anyone who is not a part of the elect. It says, it says, for flock of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
And Western America symbol. All what you would call European countries have that as their symbol. Be it Spain, be it Russia, be it Germany, America, their symbol is the eagle. That's a bird that flies higher than other birds, and it's a bird of prey. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what America does around the earth, right? It preys upon the indigenous populations of people. It exploits them and it destroys them, right? It doesn't regard they old or they young, because we're given a glimpse of, you know, the transatlantic chattel slavery. But we could get another, you know, outlining Nagasaki and Hiroshima. It's just not our people. I hope there's some people over there with the sign. Look what you done to us. Half of their face melted and shit from the radiation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got some water.
This is over there at 1 and 3.
No, they say the best thing to do is go out in nature, hug trees, and get rid of all of that pollution that you get from routers, Wi-Fi, so on and so forth. You just have to go into nature, get barefooted, tree hugging shit. You'll look crazy as fuck. Sometimes you gotta leave outside of the city. Everything in nature is made of protons, neutrons, electrons, atoms. So it does have a vibration. Oh, we got cars running. Shit, get back out here. It's about to get chilly, man. Like that. We'll be out here on Sunday at about 2 o'clock. We don't have like brick and mortar buildings where we live. You know what I mean? Just continue to come out and you know what I mean? Okay. What's your name, bro? Sean. Hey, you beautiful. What's your name, up? Eduardo. Your real name, Eduardo? Hey, that's good.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we probably been around each other before, you know what I mean?
Hey, blessings, man. Blessings.
That's right. And that's beautiful. Y'all done buck up, but you gotta get beautiful spirit too, bro. We look forward to seeing y'all again. Michigan, okay. When you going back?
I actually live down here.
There's a lot of camps in Michigan too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of camps in Detroit. In Michigan. You know about the Israelites? You seen them in Michigan?
Not really. I've seen them downtown in Providence.
Okay, but they out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see doing a lot. I'm actually learning as much as I can.
Hey, you did a major thing just being quiet and listening, bro. So when you go back home, hey, Con, let's get verse 8 and 47 real quick, because the key is we're going to go into different aspects of history, archaeology, but ultimately we want y'all to repent. You know, the word repent, reading in the back, repentance and sorrow. Because we were to show y'all where y'all going now, according to y'all God. Can you have multiple women according to the Bible? You got another nigga. You can have fun, what you doing?
I got good song. I'll see you next time, man. So,
can you drink according to the Bible? Can y'all get a drink? Go to the bar, post up? Huh? You can drink in moderation. You can even drink strong drinks, vodka. You know what I'm saying? You can drink in moderation. You could go out, you know what I'm saying? You could deal with women. Huh? Basically, you could do the same thing y'all doing now. You can still achieve a level of...
I don't get drunk. I got to drink, but I don't get drunk.
Right.
I don't leave.
Yeah, that's scripture. You know what I'm saying? But,
I'm a crazy guy anyway.
hey, that's what's up. Hey, y'all got good spirits, but it's ultimately about get into these scriptures and finding out what it is you're doing wrong. Damn what y'all doing right. Find out what you're doing wrong and inspire you to be better at it. Right? The scripture says examine ourselves daily because like the brotherhood is a beautiful thing, but we're not around each other every day. So we have to really be on our own self. Psychoanalysis, check yourself. Because it ain't always going to be a brother around tell you, hey, Ox, you know you're going out. You have some conviction in your spirit about whatever you're doing and trying to do better. Nowadays,
Say that's right now.
huh?
Say that was right now.
First Kings 8:47. Yet if they shall think, that's right. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in
The word bethink means to remember. Right? Because we're talking to remembrance. If you have remembered that, you got lost in remembrance in dirt. Our people fell away from that. So if they shall bethink themselves, remember themselves. Go ahead, huh?
Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captive,
Do y'all believe we in captivity? It said that if we were to think ourselves in the land of our captivity, remember ourselves, right? Because we're just calling things to remember. Because you once knew. And guess what? The Bible talks about reincarnation. This ain't our first time here. This ain't our first time slipping up. Just like you said, like I met you. Right?
Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
So a condition of being in captivity is subject to payment. How you get your water, how you get your Wi-Fi, how you get your clothes. You gotta pay, how you generate money. You gotta go slave for some peckerwood in most situations. Right. So that denotes being in captivity, yet this day, being attacked and so on and so forth. So then, according to Satan.
this is First Kings. Alright, this is First Kings 8:47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captive, and repent and make supplication unto thee.
That word repent is back to sorrow. It's like if your girl cheats on you, and you see her and she don't have that look on her face, you want to see her, sorry baby. You want to see her sorrowful, right? And that's how the Most High wants us to be. Repentance back to sorrow, right? You're supposed to feel bad. Heavenly Father, we've been transgressing against you all this time. We've been playing the harlot, we've been playing the whore, I've been hating my brother, I've been doing all manners of wickedness. You're supposed to feel bad and low about that shit. To the point where you want to do something about it. Not just say sorry, just like the girl. She can't just tell you sorry and go right back out, and she don't take certain actions to change who she is. Right? Go ahead,
and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely.
So that's a part of repentance. Saying what you did wrong and saying, hey, we sinned. We done perversion. Go ahead.
We have committed wickedness.
We have committed wickedness.
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and put in the grave to thee toward their land.
You know where our land is, right? You believe our land is the motherland Africa? Where's our land? Where do you think our land is? Because it's saying that we got to make supplication and pray towards our land. So this is important for y'all to know. What you say? Yeah. Jerusalem is our homeland, which means city of peace. It was a people before it was a place, right? But our home is in the east. We in the west. So our home is in the east. And when you pray to the east.
It says, we have committed wickedness. And so return unto thee with all their heart, with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and prayed unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Right? Okay.
Then hear thou prayer. There's the Then hear thou their prayers and their supplication in heaven, thou dwelling place.
He said, these will be our supplications in heaven. We have to, when we fucked up, face the in sincerity, ask the Heavenly Father to help us. Right? That's the first step. Going back to sorrow, repentance. Right? Finding out where you're going off because, you know, we have a zeal. So a lot of times it just takes a little tweak. You know what I mean? You eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. I'm sure y'all do. Those are easy ones. Dietary laws. Right? Y'all got pork, ham, sandwiches and shit at the time. Throw that shit away. Go buy some more shit. You know what I'm saying? If somebody
on myself.
he likes the damn pork, man. I ain't mad at you playing. Hey, you know, it was a walk because when I came in the truth, I was probably, I'm talking about beyond listening. I'm actually on the block. And one of the main struggles I had was a fucking pepperoni. I'm about to lose my salvation over a pepper fucking roni because I never ate ham sandwiches, pork chops, but my taste buds didn't know what pizza tastes like without a pepperoni. But I was going off like a motherfucker behind my brother's backs. You know what I'm saying? So this walk is really about mano y mano. Put a mirror up to yourself. Examine yourself. Because if you expect it for somebody, man sharpens man, and steel sharpens steel. You can sharpen your brother's countenance, but ultimately this is a very personal walk. The scriptures say endure hardness is a good soldier. And that word soldier means solitary. Because you're always not going to have a brother or a sister there to tell you what you should do. But guess what you do have? When you read this, guess what? You constantly going to be putting yourself up to it. You constantly cutting your damn self.
Back on what you were saying, I was going to pull it too, but you know, that's just all the spirit. This 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates. This 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Yeah, that's right. And we already know, time is we in overtime right now. But when you think of examinations, what do you think of? It says, I see your eyes. I see you shit walking up. But when you think of examinations, what do you think of? Walking into class and the teacher say, pull out your pen, a pop quiz, right? So the same way you can be examined by the white man. He tell you go home and do homework, do that shit for yourself.
I don't understand why they talk about little people Pilgrim started a little thing in school.
Like, the Puritans, like,
yeah, like Pilgrim started all this stuff.
right.
Like they were looking at build. I don't like all that.
Hey, that's right, and that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Telling our people, like you said, that they discovered America. When you know America was already happening, you know. They got his
According to Esau right now, like you got kings and slaves right now. According to Esau,
that's right, they're trying to take
we
slavery
were
out of
slaves. If you listen to them, the slaves, the 300, if you hear 300 more years, the slaves will turn into white people.
Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson already white.
Michael
Jordan, they gonna give him that.
Michael Jordan's gonna be white. 50 Cent's gonna be white.
Tupac.
You know what
I
I'm
seen
saying?
a picture of white Tupac.
Like this devil gotta be stopped. You know what I'm saying? That's why we out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Can I bring up this one? This Psalms chapter 51, verse 17. This Psalm chapter 51, verse 17. The sacrifices of God, Yahweh, are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O Yahweh, thou wilt not despise.
That's right. So a contrite spirit, that's what the Most High loves. Somebody who's not filled up with pride, but know they don't know shit, and we need to learn. You know, then he can pour into your vessel until your cup running over. All right now. You know, and that's what it's all about. And that's what y'all are exhibiting right now. Contrite spirit. You know, it's still God, right? Women over God. you know, one from Michigan, you know, raised here in this area, we y'all receive this word. The angel of glory, and it does something to us. It builds our faith. It make us more aggressive in coming out. You know, one of the. Yeah, go ahead, bro. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh,
So like the brother was saying, is, you know, like this devil got to be out, man. You know what I'm saying? We hear another mission, and that's what we doing. We doing love this. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like we want the shit to just come on off, so the Lord can preserve His elect and destroy this.
We want this to happen. I know it sounds crazy, but we want. Whenever we hear about some tension going on, most people like, no, you stay here. Bring it on. I'm tired of this shit.
I don't know about you, but I'm tired of waking up and having to look for a big to a devil I ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Never talk to him on the phone.
He'll cut your lights off.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. God. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Moral living, debt of credit. You study under Brother Polite?
Yeah, I know.
Tax these, tax those.
Yeah, all
I kind of feel that.
I got a brother right now.
Right. That's what Brother Polite does.
He got a house.
You know about acceptable value?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all that. He got a house in Ball. He got a house in Ball. I don't know his business. I can't tell you but he got a house in Ball, $4 million, and he got a car, extra money that he got. And I know everything is free range, so everything is free the hours, everything is paid for. You got to take it back. House, cars, all that stuff on the trust. You got to take it back.
That's right.
That's a lot of shit.
Use that word trust. You starting to show you. You starting to show yourself. Hey, but that's beautiful because
I'm reading a lot.
yeah, that's good because the truth is really all encompassing. And just like me and this brother, we were having a conversation pertaining to vaccines. Like the scriptures, it doesn't directly talk about vaccines, just like you were talking about. Not being under those curses of being a lender, not being a borrower, but putting them in a position to give them the knowledge. But that's one aspect of it, but they gotta have the knowledge of get that right? Because no matter what you aspire to teach your children, if you don't teach them the critical aspects of who their power is and what laws they're supposed to be observing, you could get an Aston Martin, you could get a mansion, and you're gonna lose that shit. You probably burn up in that. You know, a lot of famous people in society, they commit suicide and they just wish them on.
This is Acts 5. This is Acts 5:38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men.
Refrain from these men.
And let them alone.
Just like a brother Polite. He's got a lot of information and knowledge pertaining to getting a step ahead in this society through contracts, through documentation, and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
So that's one critical aspect that you miss is the Most High. If your will be done, because you might want to ask the Martin, he might want you to have bicycles. So guess what? Your will and his will is two, so it's not going to work out. So you just got to keep his will. And a righteous man, he ain't going to want to ask him Martin, imagine he going to say, give us this day or what? Give me some, right? That's what it is. You're content with your daily bread. Because in this physical captivity we in, Esau, he got all the Maybachs, he got all the name of one of them called the Birdman. When you wake up in a new Bugatti, burn up in that bitch the same night.
Let me get this precept because he's doing exactly what you're saying.
I was just going to say, one of the most wisest men that walked the earth was King David. King David said, you know what I'm saying,
Forgive me was sufficient for me. Because you, because what's sufficient for you? Food. But what's sufficient for you? Like you said, Solomon said, what's sufficient for me, right? And what's sufficient for you? What's sufficient for the birds? What's sufficient for the woman? Right? Food, clothes, shelter for me. Right? The birds, they don't worry about where the meal is coming from. So a lot of times it's about taking yourself out of it and just throwing yourself at the mercy of the Most High. Do His will, and He'll give you everything that you need, not want. Your wants and your needs. You don't need shit. I could be homeless and survive.
This 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And what can make the elements dissolve? Like, I'm thinking of Marvin the Martian with his nebulizer, but something that I don't know if it's Mike Tyson or peripherate. You know, Mike Tyson be making up the words, but what type of heat can make? Bring this out one more time.
This 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 12, looking for, well, hold on, let me start at 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Yeah, talking like the Aston Martin, the houses, you know, the big booty bitch, everything that's around you made up of the elements, you know. God. It says, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved.
Right. The question was, what type of person should you be, knowing that this is all going to be dissolved? And the brother saying the house, the cars. How should you conduct yourself on the earth? Your conversation, right? As a man. That's scripture.
Yeah, that is scripture.
Yeah, so that's what the real treasure is wisdom and knowledge and understanding. On this side, because even if you get big, like Floyd Mayweather, for example, he had Miss Jackson, she had a baby by him, and she killed the baby, an abortion. It's Floyd Mayweather, he's the leader of the money thing. He had got 1 in 6 rich, right? So you have to understand, why do these so-called rich people in society, right?
And actually, JD now dark.
Yeah, but we got some dark in this society, you can have women, and your women are rising up against R. Kelly, right? He was top the back, goddamn. We all fucked into the R. Kelly video. And they turned on him, right? They were throwing panties at him when that turn happened. Because this is not our rest, right? You can have a lot of money like Michael Jackson, who's been higher of a celebrity among our nation than Michael Jackson. And they killed his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Now they slandering him through the news.
I was bringing out, me and Uncle was bringing this out earlier this week. They said they're trying to dig him out the ground.
Hey, that's way too good, right? And that's just.
They killed Dr. Sabian too.
Yeah. That's what your Pharaoh said to kill. I mean, but why would they kill? Why? Listen to this. Why would they kill Dr. Sabian? I want you to go deeper. Pharmacia, man, you gotta understand, these pharmaceutical companies making money off of these drugs, and you got a holistic healer giving them herbs and shit to heal them. They killed Lisa Lopez when she was going to visit this nigga. You know, she was visiting Dr. Sabian when they knocked her ass out. So they've been trying to get him because guess what? When someone has an illness, to treat the illness, that's how they get rich. You know, when you watch these commercials. Yeah, so to fuck with the white man's money is an act of war. If you open up a restaurant across from his, he might burn your shit down and put a rat in your shit. He got rats, you know what I'm saying? So it's Muammar Gaddafi wanted to start the you know what I'm saying? He wanted to get away from the dollar. And Saddam Hussein. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like these Venezuela. Look, the so-called white man's wickedness is being put on front songs of 62 You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So all his shit's being put out in front. And all we're doing is, spiritual forecasting. We just letting that he's going down. And
And if you're on his team, you're going to go down with him.
That's right, because this is a law book. Even in this country, when you go to court, they make you swear in on what? So all we're doing is bringing out judgments, right? Because there's certain nations in here that have judgments that have played out, and there's certain judgments that have not played out. Just like among our people, it's judgments. Zechariah 13 and 8, on the 2/3, it hasn't played out. So when we open this, you're reading the judgments of a certain nation, right? We know that the white man is a Edomite, according to the Bible. Not white. So it puts shit in perspective for you. That's a part of you but thinking yourself. You know what I mean? Because I know he's about to go home. I mean, Lord will. You know what I mean? Y'all got any more questions? Rodrigo? How do you say your name? Alberto. Eduardo.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. And further by these, be admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh.
Right. The scripture say none shall want her mate. In studying the making of much books is no end. You could go to the Book of the Dead, the Hebrew Negroes, the Gilgamesh, you know what I'm saying? Josephus and shit. So this is the foundation. This really what you want to do. And of course, there's certain books that complement this, and there's a witness to this, and a witness against the wicked nations and everything. But this is the foundation. Y'all want to get into this to the best of y'all abilities. And you know the name of God. You know God's name. His name is Yahweh. You heard that. It's a beautiful thing. And Jesus, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, his name is Yahweh Shah. So when you pray in that name, Yahweh, Wah, and Yahweh Shah. You know, and that's a major jewel we just dropped on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Scripture say, cast not that courage amongst wine. So it's loopholes where we don't got to, we can speak verbatim. But Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, try to commit that to memory and pray in those names. Lord willing, be self with y'all when we see y'all again.
This Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. This Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
Hey, it's salvation, is power in that name. Yahweh is like Yahweh Shah. So try to commit that to memory. You know what I mean?
So with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Death to America! Death to America! Above the ball!
Above the ball! Above the ball, that means burn Babylon. That's what we did.
I love it.